as they have, what say you about that 400 years later?
It is amazing that black relationships have lasted for 400 years. They lasted this morning. They're also going to last tonight, and you may not even know the person to whom you're going to have the relationship with. But they do tend to go over. Relationships do go over like that. And as we move into what has happened to this, I know that our relationships sometimes really reach a low ebb. That's one of the reasons why we wrote the book, How to Find and Keep a BMW, a Black Man Working, that was spelled out in there. It's just very serious. Because our relationships didn't start yesterday or last week. It also started 400 years ago when those 19 persons were here. And I want you to remember something very important that one of our by any means necessary power brokers told us, and that was Malcolm X. He said, if we remember that you didn't land at Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on you. And it's very essential that we kind of keep this in place. And knowing that these are the things that happen, then we have to move more to change it. See, we have a system that would not like to see black males and black females together. They would not like to see that happening at all. Because once we come together, they understand the power of the strength of the black woman, the queen of the universe. They know that, her strength. They also know the power of the black male, the warrior. If you would turn him loose, he will protect also his family and things that need to be done. And because they understand that if our relationships are together, then they will lose. But if our relationships are torn up, then we can forever be treated in certain ways by the oppressors. That's why they gave us something called integration, which is nothing but the illusion of inclusion. They gave us this. They actually gave that statement. And when they gave that statement, it meant that they could go right into your homes. They went into the black homes now, the powers that be, and told us that you cannot discipline your children anymore. And if you discipline your children, you will go into jail. It's this kind of thing they told us. Now, this is amazing that, the black parents who in Africa, that was out of the question. Some social worker come in there saying you can't discipline your children, the social worker would disappear. As you all know, this kind of thing would go on. You would be sitting in a place like this, and all you had to do was act up and do something wrong, and all your mother had to do was to glance in your direction. Y'all remember that? And you remember that the glance meant, don't let me have to get up and come over there. And every once in a while in the black family, there was a fool who would challenge the glance. And if you could get home over the foot, over the ironing card, over whatever, you were sent to the backyard to get something off the peach tree. And if you brought something in that was too short, God forbid that you would do something like that. But then it got so terrible in frightening us. This is why we got to take this back. And this is the best part of our action plan, is to reclaim the minds of our children. Because then they went into the public schools and took discipline out of there. So when we acted up in there, they put our boys, our black men, into something called special ed classes. And as you know, those special ed classes are nothing but holding cells until they can go to the state prison. But this is what they did. And then, the one thing that they knew, that if we can put them in prison, if we can have them convicted for a felony, then once they get out of prison, they cannot get a job because of that. They cannot get the job. And then if they happen to eke out and find a job, then they have to pay taxes on a job, yet they cannot vote. And I call that taxation without representation. That's what we're looking at. And if one of the things that we would learn to do, they did a grand thing when they took that discipline away from us, because when they made our parents afraid to discipline the children, then what happened? We found out that the teachers were afraid of the principals were scared of the superintendent was scared of the school board was scared of the parents were scared of the children, and the children ain't scared of nobody. And now for the last statement, the reason we're so pleased to have the covenant, it makes all of this type foolishness stop. It's going on in Angela Glover in San Francisco. It's all over the country, and they're all saying we finally have a movement where we can take back over the minds of our children. And the first thing we got to take over, the covenant taught us that we do not have to have black leaders anymore. It told us because everyone in this room is empowered to be a black leader. Everyone in this room. Because see, right now, these people that you're calling black leaders are not what they used to be with Marcus Garvey's day. They're not what they used to be back in the days of W.E.B. Du Bois or Martin Luther King. Those were the people that got us together and planted a strategy, and we're not looking for fame. But today's black leaders, I'm afraid, have become leading blacks. And don't ever confuse leading blacks with black leaders. Let me tell you why you don't do that. One of the reasons you don't confuse them, black leaders are chosen by you. They're chosen by the people they're going to lead. They're chosen by us. But let me tell you about the leading blacks. The leading blacks are chosen by the media. Leading blacks are chosen by ABC, all broadcasting Caucasians.
Should I stop her or let her go?
Now, this is the last one. Leading blacks are also chosen by NBC. Nothing broadcasting but Caucasians. And the rest are chosen by CBS, the Caucasian broadcasting system. And when you allow leaders to be chosen by the media that's owned by the corporations, when you get ready to change your lives, when you get ready to demonstrate, when you get ready to march, when you get ready to come to the covenant, when you get ready to endorse and make Tavis one of our next elected officials, but what happens? Then you must take the time to carefully watch and see what the leading blacks are doing. Because that's when the leading blacks sneak into the door to the corporations, and they will tell the corporations, oh, we know how to go and put them down. We know how to get you some real affirmative action Negroes to come in here and work. We know how to do that. But at the end of the day, the leading blacks lead the corporations, and the leading blacks have gotten paid while we have gotten played.
equality. And I think you answer that in the negative when you say that in the schools that you would establish for the previously underprivileged or the underprivileged would include schools for children, not just Negroes, but Puerto Ricans and other underprivileged persons. Am I right in that assumption?
Yes, I think you're right there. I would not limit our employment demands to Negroes. I would include Puerto Ricans and other minorities throughout our country, which have been similarly discriminated against, though not for so long a period of time as Negroes.
Puerto Ricans weren't enslaved. Yeah, this is a problem that stems from slavery. And this compensation, yes, so this compensation is coming to people who were enslaved by the white man for 400 years. The Puerto Ricans don't even fit into this picture.
Well, they do fit into it.
No,
they do fit into it.
The problem is the Negro problem. They're not lynching Puerto Ricans.
If a dark-skinned Puerto Rican went down to Mississippi, he probably would be lynched too.
Spanish, he wouldn't be lynched.
No, they don't.
It's the Negro here, and as long as he speaks Spanish or some other language, or if he ties his head up with a turban or something, he can go anywhere in Mississippi or in your own.
Of other people, because see, nothing makes me angrier when we talk about our civil rights and what we've missed. That here comes the Asians in to join us. Here comes the Latinos in talking about their civil rights. Here comes white women in talking about theirs. The Mexicans, all of these people. And I don't know, some of you are very, very young, but in my experience growing up in Tulsa, Oklahoma, I never knew that anybody who was sent to the back of the bus because she was a white woman. Nobody was sent to the back of the bus because they were homosexual. Nobody was sent to the back of the bus because they were Asian and Latin, because their faces were black. And now all of these groups are wanting to come in now and take the things that owe us. And some of our leaders stand up there and say, oh, we're all one. We should include everyone that's going in. Every time I hear them do that, I just want to pick up a sock, a shoe, or something and throw it at the television. See, this is why I'm not mistaken by these leaders. See, anytime, first of all, you can't lead me when you call an organization rainbow because there's no black in a rainbow.
Minister, we've talked about many topics. Let's now discuss your 7-point plan. And is it realistic? I mean, one of the things that you're talking about is paying African Americans for slavery.
Yes, sir.
Now, President of the United States, how many presidents did it take to apologize for slavery? You have to know that that's not realistic. Reparations, it won't happen.
Well, sir, the Japanese were paid reparations. The people who are called Jews were paid reparations. Some of our brothers and sisters of the indigenous people who are called by the white man Indians, some of our brothers and sisters were paid reparations. And we can never say that it is unrealistic. It is a goal. It is a platform. It is a just demand against our oppressors and those who indeed owe us to repair the damage. So because you feel that it is unrealistic is not reason enough that the youth would take it from the 7-point program of action.
what is called what they call history, which we call our story, which is the story of all life forms on a particular space. So the R string is a string that goes on forever. There is no cutting the string.
I nearly cried when Dr. Sabi died. The same for Dr. Wilson. But I'ma stay focused and slay these vampires like Van Helsing. Genocide, ethnic cleansing, no ceasing racial tensions. Pigs still perpetuating modern day lynchings. Cobra or viper, pick your poison. Regardless of who's in office, don't make your offspring the sacrificial offering. Some say to each his own. I say teach our own, or risk having compromised or deleted genome codes. He had a sex change, we had a heated exchange. I got charged with a hate crime. Can somebody please explain? Cleaning the burner the way things is looking. I might have to kill a fool who go up in ladies' rooms cause he feel like a woman. Drug culture pushed through the channels. Slave wages, cost of living that most cannot handle. The sky still ain't cracked yet. Jesus ain't show yet. Shotters get ready to save Asada cause Cuba wide open. Massive land grabs, crackers aim to take your landmass. Smooth like a sandblast while you claim the damn pass. Raise the bar, set the standard. Be something like our revolutionary vanguard. No fear in the face of adversity. Despite the wear and tear in the retrograde of Mercury. My face in every database manifests destiny of a so-called master race. Everyone's a terrorist who don't capitulate to the masses' way. Now they conscious in the mainstream. The only Hannibal that they know is from the 18. Never heard of Carthage. Would never load and bust a cartridge. Wally not a commie. Employed or ain't got a job like Tommy. We got the same enemies. We don't gotta get along as requested by Rodney. We gotta put differences aside. Genocide the optive word. That's why I'm so hostile, kid. Raise the bar, set the standard. Be something like our revolutionary vanguard. Free them all, free the land, repatriate. Our ancestors have these demands. Raise the bar, set the standard. Be something like our revolutionary vanguard. Look at Flint, Detroit, Milwaukee, Chirac. Slick Rick looked at Baltimore and needed another eye patch. Just got a kite from a P.O. Dub. He said don't forget to write, send money, visit, show a soldier love. I shade a Micah X, I shade to Cosmo, I shade a Kareem. Peace to the Africans in it for the long haul. Raise the bar, set the standard. Be something like our revolutionary vanguard. This ain't that fly by night, this is a process. Backed by the babies aborted, the ancestors and fallen warriors. Raise the bar and set the standard. Be something like our revolutionary vanguard. Families to tribes, tribes to nations. We must think in these regards to survive annihilation. Raise the bar, set the standard. Be something like our revolutionary vanguard. Damn, what your child wanna be? These babies gotta become what we need. Raise the bar, set the standard. Be something like our revolutionary vanguard. Raise the bar, set the standard. Be something like our revolutionary vanguard.
It is a time, as far as we are concerned, for remembering, going back and studying a victorious time in our lives so we can pick up the principles of history, put them into structures, and so we can begin again to work as a victorious people.
What I wanted to do was, ask you guys, who is United Front? What is the Vanguard? What is the Asafo Gang? Mayasa family.
I'll start with what is United Front. Well, United Front really started out as a concept and as a vision. Myself as being politically active. After listening to a speech by Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, peace be upon him, in the speech he spoke about Africans needing a black united front. And he also spoke about if you are a rapper, you should be a revolutionary rapper.
Run up in the spot, dumping in a Trump mask, making Africa great again with each gun blast. Devil try to weather the storm, but got your limbs broken. Should've checked the last forecast. Believe a slope too slippery for a skier or a white water rafter when I'm after my freedom. Revolution will not be viral or televised either. Each verse is weaponized, soldier recognize the beacon. Came off the mothership and back on when I die. That's mama and mama earth. Ain't nothing coming out the sky. Why you apologize, cracker ain't sorry, and I ain't worried. I ain't comfy, so that ain't for me. Yeah, you heard me. We got soldiers and supporters through these artificial borders, gun hoarders and unloaders. As an omen, the war within and the war without is happening simultaneously. God within and God around. Cats like to say that they've evolved, but you really don't want no problems, cause you got soft. Versatile styles employ multiple streams for freedom. Cracker can't starve a god with multiple streams of income. You're sure to get multiple scream when she stream a real one. Cause I'm ill, like Kim Jong. Run up in the spot, dumping in the Trump mask, making Africa great again with each gun blast. Run up in the spot, dumping in the Trump mask, making Africa great again with each gun blast.
Living in the vibe, there's confliction in the mind. Confused between the needs and sit up and recline. Refuse to believe lies, but there's truth between the lines. And it's proof for me to find the natural in the design. Some things last as long as time, others are crafted. A man born a king sits at the throne, a bastard. When all the love is past tense, you didn't remove the mask yet. Eyes become unfamiliar, situations get peculiar. Circles get tighter, friendships get lighter. I stop calling cowards pussy cause there's strength in the vagina. Protected by the vipers, no protection from their venom. The elected higher snipers don't mention when you elect them. The men in Senate, no reflection of my efforts. Those men's intentions to increase my brother's sentence. So I spit with no repentance, help increase my brother's lessons. When you walk
knowledge bomb. What's the science, baby?
That's right. Hope y'all enjoyed that United Front. So we got the reason for the season in the building. Our warrior sister, Sass, aka Sass. Okay. Sass, aka Sass. In the building. Shalom.
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 I have to update my name real quick.
All right, share something with the people. We out of here.
What happened?
Tell us some good news. Tell us the good news.
I don't have the gospel, but
You ain't got the gospel?
no, I'm sleepy.
Tell us something from the Torah then.
Oh, well, since you said, all right. So there is no Hebrew word for priestess. Yeah. Isn't that weird? Yeah. Um, there's no um Hebrew word for like a female elder. Um, they made um the word for ruler. It comes from I don't know. I look, it's really no need for it, but they say that they put the name for like a queen or something would be like Malaka, but we all know that queen in Hebrew is Kabira, right? Kabira. I know, yeah, right. So yes, I'm like, nah. I'm gonna stick with what I said because you can't put like Malaka. You can't say. I mean, that makes no sense when the word for like the closest word to explain that in a different language it would be Kabira. How do you say Malaka and then you have the word Kabira? I'm not buying it anyway. Uh, the role um I don't know the role of I'm gonna just leave it like that. Whatever. Men and women share important roles whenever it's needed. So that's that. So that's all I want to say. That like I'm like thinking too much right now. But anyway, that's what I learned today.
All right.
It's just confirming what I've been saying all along. It's just that of course, you have to get like a complicated route to get to what. And also, um, I did not know that in Egyptian culture, did you know this? That
Shit.
they don't believe that the earth is uh is a feminine principle. It's a male principle. I'm like, well, how? So they said, Geb, right?
Mm-hmm.
Geb, yeah, it's like it's a male god. So that is considered to be earth. I said, oh. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, why didn't I think of that? Like, because I'm like overshadowed, because I know that the earth is a female principle, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
just never thought to think about what Geb was, and or for some reason I just didn't think that that would be the same like it wouldn't. I don't know how to explain it. Anyway,
I know what you mean. You have to give that. You have to get that with somebody. You would have to get with somebody who understands the language and to see why it is what it is in that particular culture. Just like
yeah,
with any other culture,
but that's odd though. Like, why would
it is
Earth?
odd. So that's why you should get with somebody who understands that and not going to give you no BS.
And then when you say Mother Earth, it's saying that it's like a Greek concept. Like I said, oh, okay, well,
Well,
the
no,
Greeks
I'm not going to
understood.
say that. I'm not going to say that because um, Ta means earth and it's mother. It's Mother Earth. It's Mother
Right.
Nature. Yeah, it's still Mother Earth, Mother Nature. Um, I can say for the personification of studying the Nile Valley culture, the concept of like the biblical principle, man was made to till the earth. They call that husbandry.
Hmm.
Like planting seeds in the earth. You see what I'm saying? It's still Mother Earth, but as far as role and responsibility of who was to till the earth, that would be, called husbandry. That science of architecture. You know what I'm saying? So
Wait a
man's
minute.
connect.
Wait. Husbandry. What? Say that again.
Like farming. Like man was not made but to till the ground, like a biblical representation. You see that, like like that job right there, tilling the earth. You know what I'm saying? So like that agricultural concept.
Okay. Yeah.
But like so it's if you looked at another cosmology, they have Ogun.
Hmm.
He was one that cleared a path. You see what I'm saying? Like he was like a force that's kind of used to remove obstacles out of the path, aka tilling the earth, clearing the road. You know what I'm saying? Like that
Hmm.
kind of thing. So you would have Legba, that is the ones who open the way, but he comes through and clears the way. Him and a force like Shango, like you see what I'm saying. So like these are all forces that kind of work in a particular way. They have masculine. They're represented in the masculine sense, but all of these things, kind of work in role and responsibility like a family. So your role and responsibility in the family is commensurate with what you're here to do, your function. So you would use metal tools to till the earth. You know what I mean? So it's it's like that kind of sense of understanding role, responsibility, and the family of the people that would do this particular job. They would be children of this particular force.
But so is Mother Earth or is it Mother Nature?
You say what?
Is Mother Earth or Mother Nature in Egyptian culture?
It's both. It's Mother Earth and it's Mother Nature. Mother Earth is a part of Mother Nature. So you have the associations with forces that are masculine and feminine.
But the Earth in Egyptian history is male.
I kind of explained like what that was in regards
No,
to.
I I understand that, but like when you're talking about the god specifically, the god that represents that just happens to be a male, a male god, right? Just to be clear, like
I think
because
you looking for
I
something specific that has been going around, and it's been a lot of degenerates out here that take it and run with that. You know what I mean? Like, and there's enough of that going on within everybody's culture. Everybody got bums out here that don't know how to explain shit, so they can leave it and make it look crazy as hell, but that's not what it is. Because I heard that before from a few people, and I heard the arguments that they were using, and I heard the books and shit where they got it from. I'm saying, like, if you're talking about what that is and what the job is, like to impregnate the earth, right?
mhm.
Or something to come forth from the earth. That's an act that's there. So that's it's not the male deity that's pregnant. You see what I'm saying? It's the functionality in that regard. It's the functionality of tilling the ground and preparing the earth and planting the seed. That's the real thing. Planting the seed in the earth and irrigating, to set the stage for life to come forth out of the womb of the earth.
Okay. And also, um, I just want to talk about those thumbs down that I got in the last stream. I mean, we must have some Ruth Bader Ginsburg fans out there.
Right.
I just don't understand. I'll never understand it. I went over why uh, that person was not beneficial to the black community, and
That
still,
person.
yeah, like
Is
okay,
that a person?
well, no, it's not a person, it's a it. Which, if you say, that, some people get angry when I say that. Like I don't care, but I mean, like, they make it known that they don't like it, you know, when I say that, but I will not stop. That person
Right.
has never been beneficial for the black community ever. I just don't. I mean, what has that person done for the black community at all? I mean, nothing. So I don't know all this love coming from this fake love or this fake concern for this person or whatever. So yeah. So I just wanted to talk about that too. That was something that I noticed.
It's trendy.
Yeah, well, I mean, now it's like people are, Donald Trump is going to get ready to put someone up there. Well, yeah, if he get a chance, he'll put someone up there. But I don't care who he put up there. But the whole point is, we want to put somebody up there that at least um, who's somewhat different. I don't know. I don't see. Uh, Anyway, it's just odd that I got the thumbs down. I probably got thumbs down because I said, I'm glad she's dead. A lot of people can't deal with that type of talk. Yeah, like I think I think that was like, oh my gosh, oh my goodness. She said, yeah, I said that. Yeah, I said it. So, but yeah, I just found that odd. Like,
We are.
really?
We are
Mm-hmm.
glad that it is gone off the face of the earth, and wherever it goes, when it leaves here, may it rot.
Right. And people saying, and then people would say, well, if there wasn't no such thing as Planned Parenthood, whatever, black women would continue to die from those box abortions and things of that nature, and women who get raped, they wouldn't be able to. I said, listen, man, I said it was a bunch of like us during slavery that got raped and had to give birth to babies that wasn't ours. We love them still, you know. That's just something that we just have to deal with. I mean, it doesn't you can't just go run up into some clinic and then I don't want this and take it. I mean, it just doesn't work that way. Um, but people say, well, the ancient abortions. I said, yeah, yeah, I would. But yeah, I'm sure they had that type of wicked stuff back then or whatever. But um, it just shouldn't be available. I know it's like debatable. People, will say, well, just in case a woman gets raped, it should be, or if she has like a medical condition or something, um, she should be able to. Oh, it was modern medicine. People were going as far as to say things like that, like it's a medical procedure that may be needed or what, but nobody knows for sure. Doctors don't know for sure if you'll die from something or if, what I'm saying, they make decisions all the time. And people end up dead all the time because of bad decisions that they make. Like, what gives them, like, how do they know? So I say just alleviate that, not to even, have that available because people will use it as a form of birth control because they are reckless with themselves. I think that's for the most part that's what it's used for. But nobody wants to talk about that though. So anyway, um, people who support that are okay with murder, and for some reason, they made it to where it's a normal thing. And if I say that it's murder or whatever, they go, no, 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 it's not that. It's this and this and that, or whatever, to make it not so seem to be so bad. Um, only a devil would do something like that. So, and we know that they say that most of Planned Parenthoods are in urban places, in black communities and stuff like that, and we know the origins of that, right? And it goes back to eugenics and stuff like that. Um, they were determining who should have babies and who shouldn't. That's how that started. So anyway, that's my view of it. I'm totally against it in any way, shape, or form. Sass, if it happened to you, whatever, you can guess what? I gotta deal with it. If something like that, I'll just have to deal with it. That's like I mean, if it ain't available, how else would you have to deal with it? You would have to deal with it, right?
That's right.
And whoever that was is gonna die, or we both gonna die. I'm telling you that now. Like, and once again, it has to do with women being protected, right? If they were fully protected from predators, even predators and their families or whatever, we wouldn't have to go through this. It's a community. It's a community effort, actually. So try to prevent those things from happening. Because they say, oh, whose responsibility is it? So it'll be like the responsibility of the woman or something. She would have to get. Um, it'd be up to her. She don't like. It's basically you don't have to carry it if you don't want to. It's your decision or whatever. So yeah, I mean, it's not a tough topic for me. I just say it straight out. Like, I'm totally against abortion in any way, shape, or form.
That's the truth.
But people say, if it were Planned Parenthood not there, there'll be like botched abortions or whatever. Yeah, a lot of people have died from that, going to people to get abortions. You know, uh, going to non-medical facilities and this and that. But then there's people who die in medical facilities doing stuff like that.
Regular
Mhm.
through childbirth, through experimental drugs and stuff like that, and people talking to you about cesareans and all this other shit.
Mhm.
I gotta bring my sisters back on, so they can talk about it, and you'll see, like, when they start talking about the numbers, you know, um, of infant mortality rates for black children and mortality rates for black women during childbirth in these
Mhm.
hospitals. So, we talk about one side, we like, abortion. Yeah,
Mhm.
but you still taking your black ass to the hospital to die in there.
Mhm.
You know, they're killing you on the operating tables like that,
Right.
like they're taking shit out of you. Like, they just releasing some kind of numbers in regards to nurses that was talking about forced hysterectomies. They was just taking sisters' reproductive organs out, saying that they
Yeah.
found tumors and cancerous and blah 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 and all this other shit. They were just taking it out without consent and all kinds of shit. So it's a bunch of shit going on in that fucking hospital. And don't
Yeah.
even let me get on the trafficking shit that happens in the hospital. Organ harvesting and the trafficking.
Yeah, there was this doctor that was just collecting uteruses. It was like back in the day. It was like this was like back in the day that they was he got in trouble for it. Women didn't even know. They were supposed to go for like a certain procedure. When they wake up, the whole damn uterus gone.
Right.
So they've been doing this for a very long time. They've been testing a very long time. And on top of that, they want to take away your ability to have children. So, and that's a real thing.
Sterilizing people, sterilizing
Right.
sisters, sterilizing
Hmm.
brothers. They're offering people money for that shit. Like it's all kinds of shit going on.
He said that black women addicted to drugs should not be having babies. They would sterilize
Right.
those. They were wanting to sterilize those people. I'm like,
And for
what?
some places for government assistance, they was talking that
Yeah,
shit.
right. So I'm gonna say put that back 1920s or something like that. This as far as back as that. Probably before they were making a decision as to who can have babies and who cannot. So yeah,
Who can marry and all that. Remember that? You had to get blood
yeah,
tests. Yeah.
yeah, right.
And this place is supposed to. How much shit you got to see from your enemy?
Hmm. But then there's another argument. Well, if a woman comes up pregnant, whatever, that could like set her husband off. It could set her father off to beat her. So it goes into domestic violence. Like, I said, oh, so you know, just so the answer is to just go and just get the abortion, and they will never know or whatever. They won't know what the problem is. So they use that one as an excuse too. Now, I'm not gonna say that's not that's a fake excuse, but I don't know if you've heard that before. You know, women come up pregnant, they could be raped or whatever, and then the husband knows it's not theirs or the father knows, and then they'll be ostracized, beaten, whatever. The domestic violence and stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, abortion is not the answer. The person who's doing the abusing, that's the problem. Well, why would you want to have a baby from the person that you don't? You don't, but you don't get to go to a place and, you know what I'm saying, and commit murder. Like, you don't get to do that either. So I know, like, I've read where people who gave birth and then they would, like, give up a child for adoption or something. That's an alternative if they don't want anything to do, with it or whatever. I mean, it's like, well, if you give birth due to incest, that child will be that over retarded or whatever. Why would you want to bring that into the world? See, they come with all kinds of things. the
Right.
the the person in the family is supposed to be put to death, like whoever did
Right.
that. They're
Hmm.
not even going to the root of the problem. So abortion can just fix any problem anywhere. No. So it removes the responsibility from the wrong parties and puts it on to the woman. That's how I see it. So the woman is a problem. So you need to go in here and fix this. No, no. Is it? People say, well, is it? It could be ritualistic. Yeah, why not? Right? Some evil, demonic, ritual, whatever, being performed. I wouldn't put it past that Planned Parenthood, really. um, and stuff like that. But anyway, yeah. So that's my opinion. I can have an opinion. Some people may think abortion is okay. I don't think so. It don't make me I mean, how does that make me bad? Me saying life first, right? And you saying no, they have a right to kill. Like like you're the wrong you're the one that's ill, and it's not me. But anti-abortionists are demonized. I'm telling you, like it's backwards. Can we look at that? So yeah. But anyway, that sparked off of the thumbs down that I got. I'm like, really?
You think that's what it was? It's not just regular us having regular conversation over here.
No, I've not seen that before. Like I haven't seen like a thumbs down like in a long, long time. Like you know how I talk. I don't change how I talk, but like I think that one cut deep. Like
In the
I'm
morning, it
like,
will be John Jack Dessalines Day.
hmm
Yeah. So I'm sure a tribute will be happening on this broadcast here. I just got to get the right details on who's going to appear, who's going to be in the building for that. And if no one will be there to answer the call because they're too busy saying rest in peace to Ginsburg and the rest of these bastards that are out here, I will gladly pay honor and reverence. Some people want to say when he was coronated. This is when he was born. This is a rare occasion. They don't have these dates right here. Like look at this. Look at what he stood for. Kupitek Bulikai. That was the mantra. People got positive mantras out here, positive affirmations. What's more positive than this? Cut their heads off and burn their houses to the ground. Like when you have an invading force, an alien force in your area, you're supposed to eradicate it. Insects or bugs or ants or roaches or rats or whatever the fuck get in your house, you don't have an all lives matter situation. You don't. You're not in the woods with your camouflage on and your 30-06 talking about all lives matter before you kill that deer, before you kill that bear. For sport, before you go duck hunting or hunting for geese or alligators or whatever the fuck you into. There is no conversation about that. Only when it comes to your life. That is when all lives matter. But this beloved general, I love him to my core. Cut their heads off, burn their houses to the ground. And that African woman who trained him told him, mercy is for the weak. Okay? So the other military strategist that preceded him, he was the greatest. He could outthink any war general. He taught the French a new ass. And he was setting the stage for the first ruler of Haiti. And he got free from this mantra right here. Haiti didn't get free by saying, hey, we're going to work within the system. Hey, we're going to get some allies. Haiti got free from this right here. Cut their heads off. Burn their houses to the ground. Damn. This shit was so effective that Tecumseh Sherman used the same tactic with the total war concept in their civil war against the South, against Robert Lee. Heads on spikes, houses burned to the ground, ravishing the women and the children. We wasn't on any of that shit. We was just killing them. And everybody was involved. How could this man be the general and the woman who trained them, that African woman that was in it, the homie military, and no sisters be involved and no children be involved? That's the real total war concept. Everybody win the battle. That's what that name means. So when you hear like Botham Jean, and you hear that reverberating through the bloodline, that's the Dessalines moment right there. And that's a Dessalines mentality. We don't have that in regards to looking at liberation anymore. That what you're willing to do to protect the sanctity of your black family, your African family, so they won't be ravaged, so they won't be oppressed, so your women won't be disrespected, so your children won't be taken. That's a concept. And this is where we were on that road back to righting the wrongs of the betrayal from our homeland, righting the wrongs of the betrayal of the African woman. So this was the pathway back. In this free zone that was created, all you had to do was get there. An African from anywhere, all they had to do was get there, and they were free. Yeah. And he was talking about the way he had on. Look at that hat.
Yeah. The swag there. Yeah.
Oh, he was clean, wasn't he? He was clean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he turned his hat to the side or to the back. And, yep. Anyway. What else? Let's see. What did I read today? I read something interesting today. Now I can't remember what it was exactly. Oh, I read somewhere that Walmart's gonna to pay their employees $30 an hour. I said, huh? I didn't read the article, but that's what the title of. I said, huh? Like, okay.
Oh man,
All
Walmart
right.
was paying them like $9 an hour, so they didn't have to give them benefits and shit. Like,
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Walmart. I don't know what's going on with that headline. I said, oh, okay. So that was one of them. Also, what else? Oh, I went through headlines and I don't remember, but nothing stuck out to me. All I know is that we're getting overshadowed by this damn judge um all day long. But we shall see who replaces it. Um, I mean, I don't even care, but I hope it be somebody that Democrats hate. You know, don't they have to confirm them too? So that's gonna they probably like prolong that process way after to see who's gonna win the presidency, right? So this is just going to get ugly. Um, but anyway, that's all that was in news and stuff. And I think there was some other stuff that was discussed today, but I'm gonna leave that um according to Torah alone for a moment because I need to like meditate on those things that I heard today. Um, what else? Yeah, and that's it. So what else is new, right?
What else is new?
I know these children are not trying to hear this virtual learning thing. I'm telling you that much. Like they're like, oh hell no! Like we don't want to deal with this anymore. That's another thing. um, I feel like the workload has become heavier. I know like those teachers out there were saying like it's not enough parental activity. Like I know they were saying that in the past, but now they're getting a lot of parental activity now, and they can't handle the demand. Like they can't get back to the parents fast enough, or because yeah. So you get what be careful what you ask for, right?
Right.
So now it's like they're stressing out. There's teachers that's crying and carrying on. I'm like, crying for what? You're supposed to be ready for this. People are not coping well with changing, um, with change and stuff. And like literally, you have to go to like a therapist, to get help to deal with. I'm like, we ain't got time for all that. Y'all just need to just be able to do it. I know black people had to do it. Um, y'all asses need to do it. One day you're free, the next day you in chains. Um, you know, um, I can only imagine what that's like. Um, I feel like I mean like being in mental chains. I think some of us have experienced that. So if you can imagine like physically being in that way, like physically, like I know that a lot of us have lost our minds, and people like try to downplay that thing, um, saying, "Oh, it wasn't that bad" or whatever. But you ever been held against your will, you would probably rather die than to have that happen to you. So I was thinking about that a little bit today when people like they dealing with these like little changes over here and they're getting all bent out of shape and stuff. You need to calm it down and stop crying and just deal with it, because we had to, right? Our people have to, and we have to, even still. Like knowing that you will have a hard time competing. That the system is racist. I mean, even after all of that, I mean, that's something I can't get used to. Are you used to that? I can't get used to that. Some people just say, "Oh, that's just the way it is," and it's black people we just have to deal with it or whatever. I'm not used to that. Like I can't get used to that. So some people will say comparing your struggle with someone else's is just it's just wrong. A struggle is a struggle. I disagree. What do you think?
All lives matter. That's what I think. Okay.
Yeah, that's another way of saying it.
Mm.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say that like that. That's what that means. It's like your struggle. You know that you have the worst one because you're black. Everybody know, but then you say a struggle is a struggle. Get out of here. So yeah, I disagree with that whole thing. All struggles are the same. No, it ain't. Well, you're not in chains anymore. So it should be better for you, black people. Well, that's nice, right? Oh, that's a nice thing to say.
Yeah.
I should punch you in the face I should take your life oh, and then I'm wrong if I say something like that. You know, Sash, you're too extreme. You're this, you're that, whatever. Whatever. And you're sensitive. And somebody need to bring you back down to earth because you're not grounded. You know, you're up there in La La Land somewhere. Yeah, just Sash is so violent or whatever. What's wrong with being violent?
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with that? Who said that's a bad thing? That's a good thing. Self defense is a good thing. I'm not going around just hurting people or whatever. I mean, I have a right to warn you to not mess with me, you know, and my people, you know, I can do that. But oh, that's bad too. So warning someone is a bad thing. Warning them, you know, using violence. That's almost a guarantee for them people not to mess with you though. I mean, what's the incentive for, you know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna tell the robber, don't rob me because I'm a nice person. Or robbing people is wrong or whatever. So don't rob me. You gonna be the first one robbed. You supposed to say if you come to my house, I'm gonna bust you in your chest. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what you're supposed to say. So it'll make them think twice about coming into your house, right? Oh, but that's wrong. That's bad. That language there is just too harsh, sassy. You can't be, talk like that. Too sensitive. Like, and some people are going through it now with this pandemic or whatever. Um, they're learning now what's really important. Some people are learning now what's really important. So that's a good thing, I guess. But I dread that those like those movies where there's no government and you on your own. Like, I mean, that's a it's not I mean, some people call it a nightmare. I call it like, dang, like that's messed up. Like that's how I'm looking at it, like who want to deal with that? Like, mm, I hope that never happens. Like, cause that's a lot of work. I don't know if you ever think about that. Like
Did you see the
having
other video I sent you?
the the last one I got was the one about Shaka in
Yeah.
Ghana, right? Yeah.
In South Africa?
Yeah.
Yeah. I sent you like the two favorite scenes in the movie right there.
You be like watching a movie. You'll watch movies say it was only like two good scenes. I'm like, okay. I don't even understand how you can say something like that. But um
Yeah, it's not a lot. There's only learning opportunities in the movie and they're very small. And if you don't pay attention, you'll miss it. In the whole series, it's like four.
see?
Out of, out of the whole series.
And people be like, "Well, I'm not watching that then because it's only 4 good scenes out of the whole series." I'm not
No,
watching
no, I'm
that.
saying like 4 scenes that you should pay attention to. You could watch the whole series and you might find some other stuff and be like, oh, that was a great story and all this other shit and da 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 da. Like no, how you build your organization, how you build your army to protect your kingdom politics. You seen there that was there, right? The Zulus was the laughing stock of South Africa. They they tried to marry, stronger kingdoms to keep from having to go to war and all of that. You saw their regiments, they wasn't ready to do nothing, they wasn't ready to defend nothing, and they had a fiery ass king. You see what I'm saying? Like so they're showing, you know, weakness throughout, you know, weakness throughout, and those two coming together ushered in a new look for warfare on the African front.
A
Just
new
in
look for warfare on the African front. What are you talking
yeah,
about?
yeah,
That is you're wrong about that.
wrong, right?
Yeah, you're wrong about that. Don't even ever say that again. Like,
Yeah,
no, that's not what it
yeah,
was. Like,
right. And they had prophecy that would come into being. Like so, it was just short stuff, and then the people were so afraid of this coming into being, and they knew that would be the end of them, all of them. So it didn't matter if they was the head of the military, if there was the council of elders, or if there was the king himself. And he said it on his deathbed that he'll kill whoever I put in power. He'll kill
mhm.
whoever I put in power. And that's what he did. He was trying to bring him back into the fold before somebody else took a hold of him, and that didn't work. So he had to go the path that he had to go, and his mother had to go the path that she did, and the things that happened to his family had to happen to them in the way that they did, at least the way that they were illustrated, in order for him to be the kind of leader that they needed. They didn't need no more nepotism. This is why the he said who his heir was, which was supposed to be his son, and the elder came out and did what the hell he wanted to do. So the king said, "How many regiments you need to go do what you got to do?" Bomb. He had a natural progression. The other one had to go take what he needed to go do, and that's what he did. And if anybody watched that, they saw what Inchidaka looked like coming for the throne. That's what he looked like, coming for what was his, not for some nepotism sucker to be sitting there who was just supposed to be the next one in line to continue on suckerism. So as soon as he died, the wise thing was like, oh, you need to come be here with us. That was the end of that shit. That was supposed to be the end of it because this was supposed to usher in what was really supposed to happen. So it didn't happen. At least before in this illustration, it did happen. And they poisoned us and painted the seeds in the minds of us to have this African warrior leader to be looking a certain kind of way because they wanted to manipulate how they came in and got the land, like it was some kind of fucking love story, you know. So it's nuts. It's crazy shit they got going on, but that's why I say take the little scenes from these things that you're supposed to see, and you're not supposed to see nothing else. You don't pay attention to the other shit because if you look long enough, you're gonna be heartbroken.
Yeah.
So you take the little excerpts and tidbits that you're supposed to get from the experience, and you move on. It's a couple of good scenes. Black Panther had a couple of good scenes in it. You watch the movie, you leave confused and crazy. Not like the rest of the shit that they got going on. Like you just watch it and you leave crazy as hell. Like, oh, that was dumb. Oh, I'm just confused or whatever. You, do you know how many people I
Who
talk to?
would think it was confusing?
They seen all of these movies. They seen Us. They seen Get Out and all that. When they were done with those movies, they was confused because they were watching the movie and trying to follow along with the story. I couldn't follow the story, and I don't know what's going on. And, or they just say shit. Oh, that was a great movie. That was it. Then you see all of
Yeah.
these discussions about the shit. It was just fun. It's like a bunch of bullshit. Like you wasted 2 hours of your life. Should have just seen this one thing right here, this one thing right here, that, and that's it. You go. But you want to watch the whole thing. You want to be involved in the whole thing because really your psyche leaves you and goes into the silver screen, and then it's pulled out. Things are dumped into it, and then it's inserted back in your head when the credits roll up. So it was crazy. It was crazy. Movies like that. You seen Crash? That movie Crash?
I don't remember. I
It was
know I
Ludacris
know the
in
name,
there,
but I don't
Terrence
remember how it goes.
Howard, and Don Cheadle.
Yeah, I don't remember the movie though. Like
Yeah,
I don't remember what happened in it. That was a long time ago. I
yeah.
saw it once.
It was like a bunch. It was a bunch of stuff that was looked like it was random and it had nothing to do with nothing. And you see how all of it kind of fit together. It was one of those fucking movies,
Oh.
like Tarantino would make. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, and people got all philosophical about it and this because it puts you in an emotional roller coaster type of situation. Uh, and they got you rooting for all the wrong people, like every other fucking movie you go to. But that was one of those movies that was there, you know. So literally, when I say there's a couple of good scenes in the movie, that's really it. That's just me. Anybody else, you can get that. You might see it and be like, "Oh, this is great."
Well, what you just said, what did you just say? You said it like they have you rooting for
The
nonsense,
wrong,
right?
yeah, the wrong people.
Right, because they present it in a way where it shows strength being a bad thing, um,
Mhm.
intelligence being a bad thing, pain being a bad thing. When this is all like realistic things. So the person that has the strength, the power, who's inflicting the pain, or you know what I'm saying, their perception, they'll turn that into like the bad guy. You notice the bad guy always has like is a dominating one. And they show the bad ones as the weak ones. Like, I don't like how do you like is that called like total like cinematic manipulation? I think did I just make that up? Cinematic manipulation or something like that, where they could just turn around a whole situation.
Mhm.
Or they have you or they have you seeing the oppressed one as the bad guy. Like
Right.
vengeance is a bad thing.
Hmm.
Um when the person they're coming for is the one that's the problem. You know, like like Shield, but they have all the power and they have all of the advanced equipment and technologies and all these things, and they go after so-called bad people, regular people who don't have these things, but you see those people as the bad ones. I don't know if you remember the Avengers, the first one where Romanoff is in In the beginning, she's fighting those Russian bosses or whatever. Um, I don't know if you know if she was there to get intelligence or whatever, and she
Hmm.
was there setting them up or whatever like that. Um, she had all the they don't tell you about the background of those people or what they are, or what they fighting for, or you know what I'm saying, what they trying to defend or whatever. They just show her as them tying her up and interrogating her, but not really showing you like they show you what they want to show you, whatever. That shield is the devil. That whole Avengers group is the devil. It is like it is when you look at it. They have the means to destroy anybody and anything.
Right.
But we see them as the good ones. But they have all this stuff, but the evil in the world. The evil's still in the world. They're there, but the evil's still there in the world. That
Right.
makes no sense. And this is the point I was trying to make earlier today. When somebody said to me, "Well, there are some good white people out there. They're out there fighting for us." I said, "Well, f the sympathizers, because you know they're out there. How come they ain't changed? What have they changed for black people?" Well, not all white people are powerful. Listen, listen, listen. They are of the majority. You know what I'm saying? They should have some type of pull, right?
Mm-hmm.
This has been going on for a very long time and nothing has changed, and you still accept it, saying that they're good people and they're actually doing something and they actually care about black people. That's a lie. They're
Mm.
doing it for their own benefit.
Always.
The Black Lives Matter movement was about black people. It was. It never was. And you a silly Negro for saying that. When are you gonna wake up? You know what I'm saying? When are you gonna wake up? They are a part of the problem. They contribute to your oppression. Now, look. If you don't feel like you're oppressed, then that's a whole nother thing, right? They will tell you, "Oh, oppression is I'm not oppressed." You ever heard black people say stuff like that? I'm not oppressed. I'm not
Right.
slavery. I'm not.
Right.
Nope.
What,
I'm
what are you
not. Blah blah
talking
blah.
about? Yeah. What are you
Yeah.
talking
So if you
about?
got
I'm
silly
free. I can
Negroes
do
like
whatever I
that,
want. I can do whatever I want. I can do whatever I want. I can go wherever I want. I can own whatever I want. Okay. You're
right?
oppressed with
All of a
that mind.
sudden,
Because you're stuck. Because you're
right?
stuck
All of
in
a
the
sudden, they
past.
got privilege.
Okay. You're never going to get anywhere with that. Okay. You're never going to get anywhere with that.
Now all of a sudden, you got black privilege. Get out, like you know what I'm saying? Like now you're privileged,
Yes.
and this is why
Yes.
you can't see, and this is why you can't see the injustice that happened to Interdaka in that Black Panther movie. That's the
Right.
problem. Because now you're above all of this. See, this is what I'm saying. Like they got you. They don't have to change nothing. But
Nothing.
you will go and validate them and vouch for them like they trying to help you and you're nah, man.
Yep.
They've never changed. They're still the same. And I brought out Martin King Jr. told you about them. And I was told, no, he did not say that. Yeah, he did. He told your sympathizers weren't worth a damn. He told you that. They're the worst ones. Those are the ones that got you believing in nothing. Like, those are the master manipulators. The game is ill. Like, you don't even know you're being played. And then that leads me to believe that these people that are spewing this nonsense are agents that work for the devil. See, I can turn it around too and say that. But then there are black people out there who believe that they're no longer slaves to the system. They don't believe in systematic racism. So when Candace Owens start talking, you can't say nothing to her because you think that way. You think the same way she does. Black people do it to themselves. You say that, right? She says the
Mm-hmm.
same thing. You are Candace Owens. You are Candace Owens.
Mm-mm.
You can't get mad at Candace. You are Candace. Everything that Candace, listen to what she says. You hear it out of black people all the time. And then they want to get mad at Candace Owens. And then they want to, here come George Floyd getting tuned up out in the middle of the street. Now there's something called white privilege. And they run around saying white privilege, this and white privilege that, as if they are opposed to it. It's always been there. Like, where have you been? And you can't say white privilege if you're okay with this system. You can't say nothing like that because you hold some sort of like imaginary privilege. Did I say that, imaginary privilege? Yeah. So when show me what these sympathizers have been able to do. Just show me the change. Show me something that benefited black people as a whole. Just show me that. Can't. Crickets. You going they say that they are fighting for, they say that Black Lives Matter. They say, okay, so when did we start believing them? When did they start telling the truth?
Gator
Can you answer
Purifier.
that? When have they started telling the truth? Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Gator Purifier. Gator Purifier from Jungle Fever. That's when they started telling me. Ozzie
Why
Davis
should we
killed them
believe them
all the
now?
time. That's what I say about them sympathizers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He should have killed Flipper. Oh, Flipper, and not Gator. Long live Gator Purifier.
I brought up that they are fighting for white
Gator had that
supremacy.
shimmer. You remember he did that shimmer? He said, "I gotta
Yeah.
dance for you, mama."
Yep. Yeah, he
That's
did
how
the
he
little
looked death
shimmy.
in the face. He knew his
Yeah.
daddy was going to kill him. He looked it right. He
Yeah.
danced with it. He danced. Wasn't no redemption for his son. That one. They killed him. He left the race straight out alive. That was funny, man. Spike Lee ain't shit. They love them some Spike Lee though. They were like, "Oh, Spike didn't do shit. Spike is a piece of shit." Hmm. Long live Elijah Price and Gator Purifier. And what's his name? Jules from Pulp Fiction. I think those is
Mm-hmm.
like his best three characters right there. He got a lot of movies though. He got a lot of movies. Nothing like Gator Purifier and Elijah Price, aka first name Mister, last name Class. He
Well,
got some
Black
names.
Lives Matter, huh?
All lives matter.
Okay.
No, Black Lives Matter is nothing but white people
No.
fighting each other. That's all.
Right. Right.
Like they always
Oh,
do. I gave an example yesterday of what that's like.
right.
You got some traitorous white people,
Hmm.
and the other white people like, yo, what are you doing? Like, you know. So it has nothing to do with us.
And sing your love daddy and do the right thing. Leads in school days. He had some roles, didn't he? He was
Yeah. Yeah, the one at school days was the important one. No, to me, you know.
His name was Trip and Juice. You know who he
The
was
out
in
of
Juice.
touch Negro. He was getting at those out of touch Negroes. That's who he was getting at.
Jules Winterfield, my man from Inglewood. Vincent Vega, my man from Amsterdam.
Amsterdam is a devil.
That's right.
Ain't my cup of tea.
His name in Die Hard with a Vengeance was Zeus Carver. And we did a bunch of movies. He was that lawyer in Losing Isaiah. His name was Kedar Lewis. Kedar. He was in Eve's Bayou.
You gonna forget about him being Nick Fury? Okay.
That wasn't no good role. That's like that was forgettable as Mace Windu.
It wasn't realistic, but
Yeah, I mean it was forgettable. Very forgettable. Like that and Mace Windu in the Star Wars shit. He didn't have no business. I mean, what are you doing?
didn't he get pushed out the window? I can't remember. In Star Wars? Was that
He was in
Solo?
2.
Okay. No, that wasn't so. No, that wasn't
He was in
Solo.
2.
That was I can't keep up with that stuff.
He was in Kill Bill Volume 2.
I don't think I saw that.
They paid him a check to just die in the film.
He plays Shaft.
He played the fuck out of shit. I can't take that.
He plays Shaft.
He did that. David Carradine said, they shot Rufus. The piano player killed Rufus. Yeah, Rufus, boy, he got a check just for being in there playing the piano and got killed. He didn't even have a speaking part in there. Damn Rufus. He was in 3 Star Wars too. Freedom Man.
He showed those racist cops in Shaft.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, we don't talk about that when we break down Shaft, but you know, it's there. They're talking about the NYPD. Mm-hmm.
He was in Black Snake Moan.
I don't even know what that is. I can't tell you. I haven't seen all of his movies.
Yeah, it's a waste of time to see it. Oh, he was in The Spirit. Yep, he was the shit in that movie, The Spirit. And once again, they made him look like a villain. And the white boy to be the savior. It was an octopus.
You know what? Is he in the same class as Denzel? Because I just thought about that. They put Denzel up there as the top black actor up there in Hollywood, but it's also Samuel Jackson.
Of course.
It would also be him, right?
Yeah.
He's always left out. He's like he's left out of mine too when I think about it. Like But he is though. He's like he worked just as much as Denzel does. And they're around the
More.
same age, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's both of them. I don't think
Yeah.
Samuel ever got sat down ever. And you see his attitude, right? It's like he and Denzel are night and day. Like,
Right.
that's something for me to ponder upon. Like,
Ponder it.
he's not like a pushover. Hmm.
Yeah, and they both played in them B films, so it's not like it's like, oh, okay, he had all A-list roles. Denzel had some B films as well.
That Mississippi Masala was terrible.
Right. He was in Hard Lessons.
Yeah, it was a lot of terrible
He
ones.
was in Hard Lessons, and Samuel Jackson was in 187. That would be something to try.
I like 187.
You know, wiggle your phalanges.
Yeah, I like 187.
Damn, out of sight. He was retarded and out of sight. Deep Blue Sea, Rules of Engagement. What was that movie that Denzel was in? That military movie, not Glory. What was that shit? Courage Under Fire.
I don't even know what that is.
I think that was Courage Under Fire.
Oh, never seen it.
I'm just saying if it went like movie for movie. You know, he's in Shaft. Denzel was in Training Day. He was in Unbreakable. Denzel was in The Bone Collector. You know what I'm saying? Like roles where they weren't their regular self. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And all they had was to use their mind in the situation. I didn't see fucking Denzel in no damn Star Wars shit though. That was just weird.
He can't do those.
Yeah. He was in what's that fucking movie? Changing Lanes. He played the fuck out of Changing Lanes in there.
Yeah, but Denzel didn't start doing those tactical
He
type
was
movie roles until he got
Coach
older.
Carter. Look, he was Coach Carter. Denzel had Remember the Titans. And I think that one movie that fucking Spook Lee did with the bank robbery that he was in, I think either one of them
Inside Man. Yeah.
Inside Man. I think he could have played that too. Yeah. That would be interesting. He had Denzel had John Q. Like you had to look up their list and then kind of go back and forth in between. I think they're on the same level. I prefer Samuel over him. It's between those two that's running place. I'll be like, yeah, let me get.
I think it's competition there.
Yeah,
Did
I think so.
Samuel play in a military movie?
Yeah.
I never seen it.
Rules of Engagement.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see that.
He played in what else? He played in a couple of them military movies.
Well, yeah, I forgot. We get to talking about Hollywood and black actors or whatever. The only one that can.
Movies with Quentin. He was in a bunch of Quentin Tarantino movies, and he was in a couple of movies with Kevin Spacey. He was in Bruce Willis. Him and Bruce Willis was in the epic joints together. Yeah, he was in Basic. That was a quasi military movie. He's in The Incredibles. He's in a couple
he played Ice. Yeah. Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze. And then the black woman over there with the attitude. Yeah.
He was in Soul Man with Bernie Mac.
Woman, where's my super suit? And here she come. Yep, that whole thing was racist. But anyway, yeah,
it was racist.
Pixar, that was straight up Disney. That was straight up racist. Anyway, but
Oh, he was
they
an
they didn't
unthinkable.
they didn't even show the black woman, but they showed her voice with the yeah. hmm
He
And
was
what was
an
next?
unthinkable. You got to see unthinkable. You got to see Five Fingers and Unthinkable. Yeah, Unthinkable was it. I don't think Denzel could have did that role. That's Sam all day. And Samuel Jackson was in The Time to Kill. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, Denzel could have played that. Why not?
Yeah.
No. Are you saying that Denzel's a good Negro? Oh.
No. I'm saying like because he played an Equalizer, and Equalizer was that shit. And
John
I don't.
Q. I mean, he could have done it. John Q.
Yeah, I
Alone, he
don't
could
think.
have done A Time to Kill.
Yeah. He was in Philadelphia though. Like, goddamn. Like he was. He understand what I'm saying? Oh,
Terrible movie. That was a terrible
yeah.
movie.
Like,
Okay, got you crying over the side of my. I can't stand it.
Right. Let's see.
That's when he had that silly mustache. Like Denzel don't look right with a
Yeah.
mustache. It's either a whole beard. Please don't do a little mustache, please.
Pelican
Like,
Brief too. He was in Pelican Brief.
yeah, I can't stand that mustache.
Yeah, everybody had their little roles. That was some bullshit. Like Forrest Whitaker's my other dude. He was in a bunch of bullshit movies too. Bunch of them.
I can't tell you one except for Ghost Dog and The Great Debaters. Was it The Great Debaters? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it. That's all I can tell you.
Ghost Dog was a motherfucking movie right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What did you think about that? Do you remember The Great Debaters when they hit that animal?
Across from each other, and it was like he played like John Farmer Senior. He played the little boy daddy.
Right. Do you
Yeah,
remember that scene where he hit the animal and those two white people came out and he had to give him his whole check? And the
yeah.
son looked at the son despised him, look at him like there's something wrong with him or whatever.
Right.
What did you think about that scene?
I guess it was a way to try to show the times, but that's not entirely accurate. Everything didn't go down this way that they painted it. Because if it went down like that, there would never be, where's my brother at? See, I love this. That was beautiful. Where did this come from? If everybody was docile, this wouldn't have happened.
Right.
This wouldn't have happened. So,
but
like,
yeah, but the excuse was that his family was there, so that's why he didn't want to do something, do things differently because
yeah, that's
the wife
different.
was there and the kids.
That's weird as hell. Like everybody would have got into it. See, look, they'll show you that shit in the movie, and then they show you married with children, and everybody's fighting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Down to the fucking dog, right?
Yep.
And that's supposed to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
In a traffic jam, it's too much traffic, and people got out of their cars. Next thing you know, the Bundys is sprawling out there. Let's rock.
Yep.
So you see that? Like,
mm-hmm.
Oh man.
I didn't like that movie, The Great Debaters, by the way. I didn't like Denzel's role. I didn't like that. I still don't understand that movie.
Yeah, it was weird.
It was like he was in cahoots with these white folks.
That was Nate Parker's first film, I think.
Yeah, but what was he doing? He was a teacher, and then at night he was doing something with some white folks who was fighting other white folks. And I was turned off when
Just weird. Yeah. But he did the fuck out of that damn movie. One of my movies I've been using, Antoine Fisher.
Yeah. I don't think Sam could have did that Antoine Fisher movie.
I'm trying to remember Antoine Fisher. Is that the boy who went to that white school?
No, that was that other movie.
Yeah,
That
so I'm
was
getting them mixed up.
that was like Fish or something like that, but it had something like that in there. His name was Malik. Malik something like I know.
Yeah, he had that white teacher. He came
Yeah,
to here from that old white man. Yeah, that
yeah,
name.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Okay,
the
I'm getting them
military,
confused. Okay.
the Navy movie.
Navy.
Yeah,
Oh, the
it was
Antoine
based
Fisher.
off.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Yeah, that young brother. Yeah, okay. I know what you're
yeah.
talking about.
Derek
I
Luke.
haven't seen
That
him
was his first
around.
movie.
Right. He was only in a few others, right? Because I don't see him around
Right.
anymore.
Yeah, he was in Notorious. He played Puff Daddy in
Did he do
Notorious.
a good job? Did he do a good job playing Puffy?
No, I think after he played that role, the Antoine Fisher role, he could never not be that person. I've seen him in like TV shows and shit like that. Like he's him. He's that role. Like he's stuck in there forever.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't see him as a Puffy.
Yeah,
I don't.
but he tried. Remember,
I
he was in what's that fucking movie? Varsity Blues.
don't know that one.
He played Booby Miles, and then y'all want to win, put Booby in. Like he had that same voice where it sounded like his horse.
Wait. Wasn't he in that Spike Lee movie, that Santa Ana movie? Wasn't he in that too?
I'm sure he was.
I
I'm
think
sure.
that's where I find him most memorable, other than Antoine Fisher. Okay, yeah. He's more serious actor, I think.
Well, I think he can't do nothing because his voice will tell on him every time. So whatever it is that when you stuck right there, well, I that he can't do. And Puff is
Hmm.
too high tone, high energy for him to be like he was with that. I think the
Denzel
dude.
Washington's hmm?
Go ahead.
Denzel Washington's wife is black, and so is Samuel Jackson's wife is black.
Mm-hmm.
That might have something to do with stuff too,
Yeah, and
because
they've been
all the
around.
other ones,
They've been around forever. Yeah,
yeah.
that dude, Derek Luke, he got a thing.
Mhm. So if you go down the list of black male actors, and so it gets personal. From my perspective.
Yeah,
Hollywood is looking at it like, okay, they're taking some things personal. If you look at who, yeah,
yeah.
because I was thinking about that. Anywho,
He was in
but that's
Django.
speculation. That's speculation, says you don't know. Um, like how you play Django, and like your kid's mother is the beast, both of them. Like, I like that he played. What was his name? Samuel played Samuel, right? Was not Samuel.
Steven, I think.
Steven, yes, Steven. That was horrible. That made me mad. Like, it didn't make me mad. It was annoying. All I could
That's
do is just laugh
Tarantino
at it.
again. That was
All I could do is
Tarantino again.
laugh at it. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But that's an
I
Uncle
still like. I
Ruckus.
like Inglorious Bastards. That's my favorite Tarantino
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
just
glad he showed that. It's a bunch of Stevens over here. You know what I'm saying? There's a bunch of Stevens out here, man. Covering for that devil. Like those sympathizers, those fakers. Yeah. Those Candace Owenses. I'm glad he showed it. And it took the white man to show that. Like, that's how they see you. Like, that's how they see you. That's how they want you. That Steven character was a hot mess. Inglorious Bastards.
The Bear, Jew. I
Reservoir
remember.
Dogs. Yeah.
Oh, Reservoir Dogs. Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Michael Maidstone in that fucking movie. Oh my
Hmm.
goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
that was
agree
like,
on that.
oh, oh, he pulled that fucking pig out of the trunk of the car and drug him in the pool. I was like, and he cut his fucking ear off. And he played that song. He went and turned that motherfucker up. I said, oh, and he started dancing and shit. I said, this is heaven right here. Like, yeah. And of course, he had to die, you know. But it was beautiful. I loved it. He talked to the ear, like, yeah, can you hear me? He just tossed it to the side. I was like, oh, this is it. And he was about to burn his ass alive. Oh, you put the gasoline and shit. Damn, that was a good ass movie.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. Shit was velvet. Michael Maidstone. He was in Kill Bill. He was in a bunch of shit, and he always played like the dark character in the film. He buried that thing in the. He buried that thing alive too. In Kill Bill, she had to come out of that fucking
Yeah,
casket.
it was a gory, dark movie. Yeah. That was a very dark glory. I don't really get with these types
I
of
love.
movies, but
I
yeah.
loved. I loved it.
He's psychotic, if you ask me. So
Well, he's regular. He's
he's a
himself.
dangerous cracker, I'm telling you.
He's himself. Very, very
Yeah.
himself. Like
Mhm.
normal
Mhm.
devil behavior.
Yep.
He does not
Dangerous.
disappoint. Yeah. And he always calling us nigga. Like he's always calling. It's always in the movie.
Yep.
Always.
Yep.
Never opportunity where
Mhm.
it's not nigga thrown around for us.
He came out of nowhere, actually. Where did he come from? He came out of nowhere.
Hell, where they all come from. That's what
Yeah, like, and then he was able to command all of um these veteran black male actors, you know. Yeah.
well, he used Sam. He used Sam to get him.
Mhm.
He used Sam to get him on. Sam was the selling point. What else?
It's not in the benefit of black community, it's in the benefit of them
Yeah,
making it money, getting the opportunities. That's what it's about. That's all it is about. Cuz I don't see him putting nobody on um like that. I don't see none of them putting nobody on. And that was one of the complaints in Black Hollywood, that they're not getting the roles because they're black. So that's like in like the music industry too. They're having a hard time putting people on because once again your color gets in the way, right? Your ethnicity gets in the way. So every man for himself.
Yep. Let's go through this shit and see what I got here. They got a bunch of movies too. He's a piece of shit. Got a bunch of movies. Let's see. And they always start off with shitty movies, and then they got these colossal ass movies. Let's look at the film. So he comes in '92 with Reservoir Dogs. That's not how he started, but that's he comes in there. Reservoir Dogs, True Romance. I don't remember that shit. I think that was like a book that they made into a movie. Pulp Fiction and Natural Born Killers comes out in the same year, '94. He wrote it, but he wasn't the director. Four Rooms, Dust Till Dawn. I remember that. He didn't direct that either.
That was a terrible movie.
Yeah.
That movie
George.
was. I didn't like it.
And
It was.
he's in there. He's like the perverted ass little brother. That's what he was in that movie.
I'm glad they exploited that Mexican and not a black woman, not another black woman. So, props to that movie for that.
Jackie Brown, Pam Grier up in there.
Mm-hmm.
Kill Bill 1 and 2.
Do you know what he said about her?
What did he say?
He was, because of who she was back, doing those black exploitation movies. He basically he lusted after her. That it was a sexual thing with him.
Yeah.
It was no admiration. It's just that he was,
Desperado is in there somewhere, but it's not really showing. He had something to do with that. Sin City, Planet Terror, Inglourious Bastards, Django, Hateful Eight, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Here goes the other shit. Killing Zoe, Dust Till Dawn 2 and 3. Hero, he was in there somewhere. Hostel was the shit. Oh yeah. You see
I remember
Hostel?
I remember it. Yeah.
Oh, when he cut that motherfucker's Achilles.
They were showing twisted, quote unquote, professionals torturing people for fun.
Right.
Regular business people you think are normal. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That right there show you that cracker. I'm telling you, man. Ugh. This is what they do behind closed doors.
Yep. He cut that motherfucker's Achilles and he said, go.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Shit like that made my day.
Whoever got out should have came back and blew that place up.
That fucking Asian
yeah. And hunted down all of them and their offspring for the rest of their lives.
I think part 2 was kind of like that. I think one of them dogs.
That's in the blood. That passed from blood to blood. I'm telling you, that behavior, like the perversion. I'm telling you, that goes from person to Like, see, man. Oh, but you know what? It's just a movie. It's just a movie. What are you talking about? They don't act like that. That's just a movie. People forgot about Hostel. I didn't forget about it. I know about that one. I've never said, "Oh, I need to go to the movie to see a Quentin Tarantino movie." Never. But these movies get critically acclaimed and get Oscar nominations and all these things or whatever because they're bigging themselves up for that nonsense that's going on. That stuff that we just say is just movies. I've never said that. I must see this movie by no. Nope. Nope.
I like that Fight Club movie. That
Wasn't the
movie.
who was in that? Wasn't that Brad Pitt wasn't in that, or am I getting that confused with something else?
Yeah, Brad Pitt and Ed Norton was in it.
Yeah, okay. I don't like Ed Norton. Let me tell you why I don't like Ed Norton.
Oh shit.
I know that he's an actor and everything, but that movie that he was in called American
American
called what?
American History X.
Yes, that one. After that, I just dislike him. Like, look, I know it's Hollywood. I know he's an actor, but I just can't. I can't. If I see him, I'm gonna jump on him, and he won't have no eyeballs. I'm telling you, like it's that type of thing. I better never
Yeah.
see him in person.
Put your mouth on the curve.
Yeah, like I have a hate for that man. Like, and I feel like he act like that in real life. Like, and then I was hearing people saying that he's an asshole in real life. So like I have like a yeah, I kind of hate him. Like really, like. Urgh. Because of that movie right there. I don't care what happened in the rest of the movie. It was the parts where he was a skinhead, white supremacist, whatever he was. I did not like that movie. I'm telling you. And that happened. I was young when I saw it, and I just happened to see that part. I was like, you know what? I can't.
That was a good
Ooh,
movie.
if that's not enough to get you angry, like I don't know what is.
It was a good movie.
All right, that was my spiel about Ed Norton. Okay.
He was in Primal Fear with Richard Gere. Oh yeah. Yeah. Did you see Primal Fear?
I don't know.
No?
No, I
Yeah.
don't like Richard Gere movies really. Like I don't know.
You gotta watch that movie. That movie,
I'm
that's it.
more of a Dennis Quaid, Harrison Ford type of movie and like Billy Bob, not Billy Bob,
Oh
like
yeah,
Tommy
go
Lee
ahead.
Jones. Tommy Lee
Yeah,
Jones type of person,
you said Billy Bob Thornton.
Billy Bob Thornton's hilarious. Anyway. and that little uh baseball movie with the kids, that was
Bad
hilarious.
News Bears.
Yes, that was hilarious. And of course Bad Santa. Like
Yeah, I
we
don't
was at
like
the movie theater for that.
like remake the old movies, but he was that other. He was Walter. What was his name? Walter Matthau. Like I think he was worse than Walter Matthau in that fucking movie. Because they did Hardball with Keanu Reeves and shit,
Yeah.
and that's where Lil Michael B. Jordan was in that movie back then.
Yeah.
That was like an adaptation of it, but
Mm.
Bad News Bears and fucking movie with Walter Matthau. Damn, like the degenerate piece of shit, like, like the worst of the worst. And then they showed him like turn life around because of the children. That shit crazy.
Bad Santa. Nobody should be watching the movies, but that's hilarious.
Yeah, Mac Man, Bernie Mac,
Bernie
and
Mac was
John
in that
Ritter.
movie. Yes. Yep. John Ritter was in that. Yep. Bernie he played the mall manager.
He said I heard him say, "You ain't going to shit right for a week." I know them two back and forth. Ain't no way that movie got made. I don't know how that movie got made.
I don't know either. It was just the stuff that was just happening. He didn't like them kids. It was hilarious. I liked it.
They
He
went and
went and
found
stole
that fat
somebody's
ass.
house for a minute.
Right, that fat ass boy. He found him as a fucking grown man, a fat piece of shit, and was still.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Anyway, it was hilarious. It was funny.
Sandwich?
Everything wrong with it, but it was funny.
Do you want a sandwich?
He was always doing something with some fat white woman. It was disgusting.
Yeah.
Anyway, I didn't mean to divert the conversation over to Bad Santa, but that and the Bad News Bears was hilarious. I like funny movies like that, slapstick comedy. So silly movies, like I do like those. The ones that make me laugh.
Are we done ranting?
Yeah, we're done ranting. I didn't rant today. That's good. I didn't really rant today. That's good. Just pointing out a few things.
Yeah. Did we miss anything?
Nope. I think it's good. I think it was a good balance of conversation topics and stuff. We weren't really going in on and being racist today, so that's good. Yeah. All right. So should I cue to shalom, right? Or
yeah.
You done? Okay. Shalom.